If you're like me, you are looking for a fruit tree that is going to provide you with fruit that is flavorful, juicy, tasty, has balanced flavor, is on a tree that is self-fruitful, that can be grown in a bunch of different climates and varieties, and yet also has ornamental qualities because of the foliage and the fruit that grows on it. I think there's one tree that can satisfy all of that stuff that you ought to consider for your home orchard, and that is the Spice Zee Nectaplum. In this video, we're gonna do a harvest. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the tree. We're gonna do a taste test. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you something that happened, a little mishap with some of these Japanese beetles that also love them. Oh no! So stay tuned for that. Let's get busy. The Nectaplum is a genetic hybrid that has been created through selective breeding and cross-pollination of specific types of fruit. And it's done by ZEE Genetics.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
These Nectaplums are made in the same way that pluots are, and pluaries, and apriums, and that is by taking two parent plants, maybe a nectarine and a plum that has some specific traits that they're looking for. They hand pollinate them, and so they keep it in an enclosed space so that it can't be pollinated by other insects and other pollen. And then they take the resulting fruit and they plant a whole row of that fruit, because every seed is going to contain genetically distinct material. And then as those things grow up, they taste the fruit and decide if there's one that's commercially viable or not. Well, the Nectaplum is really one of those fruit. The Nectaplum is a cross between a peach, a plum, and a nectarine, and really favors the plum and the nectarine, hence the Nectaplum name. And so it's a fantastic fruit. Some of the things that I like about the Nectaplum are the fact that it's self-fruitful. Self-fruitful tree is always going to do better with another pollinator nearby, another prunus, in this case a plum, cherry, apricot, peach, but it is self-fruitful. The thing I love is the fruit is fantastic. We're going to harvest some and do a taste test. And the foliage, my goodness, in the springtime when it pops, first of all, these beautiful pink flowers are just littered this thing. And then the leaves emerge, and the leaves are this beautiful deep red, kind of almost maroonish type of color, which are such a stark contrast from the regular green that you see. So the Nectaplum, if I was going to plant a single stone fruit in my yard or orchard, I would plant this tree. Well, let's get on to it. I'd like to do a harvest and show you when to harvest these things. When it comes to choosing a Nectaplum that is ripe, you're going to be looking for things similar to like you would with a peach. You're going to be looking for a change in color. Nectaplum is going to go from a very dark maroon color to kind of a lighter color. It's going to be one of the first signs that it's approaching ripeness. And the other thing is that you go and you can just gently squeeze the fruit, and there should be a very light give to it. Or it could be squishy. The squishier it is, the more juicy it's going to be. You don't want to squeeze too hard though, because if you're going to leave the fruit on there, you can easily bruise the fruit. That's going to lead to it rotting in those areas, and then fruit flies will attack it. You don't want that. So you're looking for a light give, and then finally, if you have that light give, it should come off with a gentle tug. Now, this one is pretty rock hard yet, so we're going to look around and see if we can find one that is totally ripe. Okay, let's see. We've got a whole lot of Nectaplum in here, and so you just start feeling your way through. Oh, this one is kind of a give, popped right off really easily. See that this has kind of got a lighter color on it, so this lets me know that that one's ready. And you just kind of work your way around and give just a very gentle, light touch to these things. Here's one that got pecked by the bird. I didn't have a bird bozo on this side of the tree, so it got eaten. But that can sometimes be an indicator that a fruit is actually ripe or approaching ripeness. And so I'm going to pick this off. One thing you want to remember is that even though this has been pecked on this side, it has not been pecked on this side, so you can just cut this off and eat the side that is not pecked. Now let's see if we can find one more. Oh, this one. Look how easy that came off. I can't wait to try these. All right, let's cut these open. Okay, we got a handful of Nectaplum in our basket here, and I'm going to look for the one that, this one I think is probably the most ripe. It's got a little bit of give. I can just imagine how juicy this is going to be. Now, I'm tempted to just take a bite straight into this thing, and maybe I will, but I want to cut it open and show you what the inside looks like first before it's all mangled from me eating it. I couldn't find my knife over here, so I'm going to go for my giant Corona machete. This thing is a lot of fun. Use it for my banana and some other things. So I'm just going to use this to cut. Oh man, the juice is already forming on here. And this is a freestone fruit, and so this is totally ready. Look how juicy this is. Okay, taste test. There's a little bit of juice. The part that's the juicier you know is going to be most sweet. This is unbelievably sweet and flavorful. It's like candy. It honestly is like a piece of candy. Not overwhelmingly sweet. There's still a little bit of acid that helps to balance that out. But man, this is a tasty, tasty piece of fruit. I can taste more of the nectarine than I can the plum, but the plum is there also. And this is so interesting. That's one thing that's kind of nice about these hybrids is that you taste it and it's totally a unique flavor. When you eat a peach, you go, oh, that's a peach, or you eat a plum, that's a plum. This is not. This is just amazing, this white flesh, spicy nectaplum. Okay, so I told you that I would share with you a fiasco that happened with these Japanese beetles. They were totally covering one of these things, and I had the bright idea to feed them to the chickens. I cut it off, put it in a bag, took it over to the chickens. Watch what happened. Thomas, what do we got in there?
Japanese beetles? Hold on. Let's say hi. Oh, there it is.
Oh, so gross. Okay, they're going from being Japanese beetles to being chicken snacks.
All right, chicken.
Yeah, hold that open for them.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Evan. Here we go. Chicken, 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 chicken.
Oh, sick. That's the worst. Ah! Come on, chickies. No. They're stealing. They're running. We found them on the nectarine. Smash them. Smash them. They're all flying, like 20 of them. That didn't work. That didn't work at all. That was a disaster. They don't even know how to get out of there, these things. Look at that one bouncing.
Whether you have 500 of these or one of these, stay busy.
Gosh. So we found it, and we found the perfect fruit. Something where the fruit itself is large and juicy, sweet, but also has a nice acid balance. Something where the tree produces well in a low chill area as well as in high chill areas. And something where when it grows is an amazing ornamental. I think we may have found it. I'd be hard pressed to see what is better than a spicy nectaplum. Well, anyway, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Busy Gardener channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, we'd love for you to do that now. If you're not following us on Instagram, jump over there. You can see more things like what happened with those Japanese beetles. And whether you've got one fruit to harvest in your orchard or 500, until next time, stay busy.